Ooh, what a messy start for Nintendo Switch 2. The Nintendo Switch 2 is the most hyped console of a long time. And there's a lot of things going on that's pretty rough, including pre-orders, price, and a whole bunch of other things. Welcome. Now, today we're going to be talking about the pre-order situation. So, if you don't know, April 9th, which is today, we were supposed to have pre-orders for Canada. But it turns out that they canceled them to align themselves with the United States. So I guess there wasn't a giant rush of people going in. Or was it to align themselves with the same price? Now, it's not determined that the United States is going to have a higher price, because honestly, I don't think it's going to have a big higher price. I feel like if anything, they would ship all the consoles to Canada and then Canada ship them there, because it's a lower percent that they have to pay. So yeah, anyways, I'm not going to get all political in this sense, but yeah, just know that I don't think it's going to be just a massive step up, like 40% or whatever it is. Is it 40%? I think it is. Anyway, so yeah, you don't have to be worried in that sense. I think maybe 10% would probably be tops that Nintendo's going to be willing to put on an extra charge. But I could be wrong. Hopefully that, they just make it cheaper and you don't have to pay the full thing. At this point, you're not getting the console cheaper. It's either going to be $450 for the base console, American, or $630 for the base console, Canadian. I don't think they're going to be putting it down because they've already allowed pre-orders in many different countries. France, UK, Japan, maybe. I could be wrong about that one, but I think Japan might have pre-orders. Anyways, they have all these pre-orders, and we're stuck waiting. Canada, US. It's going to be a rough couple of weeks. We're going to hope to get our hands on Nintendo Switch 2. But in the meantime, the best we can do is play some games or wait or, whatever you want to do. Play Nintendo Switch games, catch up on your old library, or if you want, you can wait. They hopefully get your hands on it and then try those games on Nintendo Switch 2. But, replay your old library. They still look great. That would be really awesome. And hopefully you're subscribed to all of these different channels that give you pre-orders are up. So then that means that Canada, US will have their pre-orders, and you'll be good to go and pre-order to your heart's content. You want to get a console? That's perfect. You want to get a game? That's great. You want to get the bundle? Perfect. You want to get a Pro Controller? Awesome. It's perfect. It's a pretty messy situation. We're just hanging out together, seeing what the heck is going on with Nintendo and stuff. Because, hey, the pre-orders were actually, if you're Canadian like me, we're supposed to go and get our pre-orders today. But, because it's April 9th recording this video. But, no, we didn't. Because we got dragged through the mud with everything that's going on in the US. So, bear with me, Canadians. And Americans, thanks for being here. It's going to be a rough couple of whenever it comes out. If you have your Nintendo Switch pre-order for the Nintendo Switch or the Nintendo Store, you will be good. They're going to start sending out invites. I don't know if it's first come, first serve, you get the email. I'm pretty sure it's the first come, first serve when you hit the button to say, okay, I'm interested in this. You have to have Nintendo Switch Online. You have to have 50 hours of gameplay. I believe that's since you got your account and since you got your Nintendo Switch. You also have to have an account with Switch Online, and I believe you have to have an account open for more than a year. Also, you have to have game sharing enabled. So, you share game data to Nintendo. You have to have that enabled. And then, if you have all of that stuff good, Nintendo will send you an email in roughly May 8th. So then you can claim that. You have 72 hours to buy your Nintendo Switch. So all you're pretty much waiting for is just the email. Hopefully, Nintendo chooses All right, I'm good. I can get my email and I can pre-order the console. There you go. That can maybe, if you were like, you think you were the one that's gonna click the button first. I thought I did it like maybe 2 hours after the website. I don't quite know. Anyways, so yeah, it's a rough situation. There's Nintendo Switch 2 is looking really awesome. Like, it looking so good. 120 hertz refresh rate with also a 1080 pre-screen and 4K 60 if you're putting it in dock mode, with a whole bunch of great games. Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Metroid Prime looking good. The mouse controls, everything's looking great. The buying part of it has been a little challenging. Like, at first it was the price, but now people want to keep the price because they don't want to pay an additional fee, which is understandable. The game prices, honestly, I've come to terms that the console, sure, because the parts are more powerful, it's a massive upgrade, sure, that's fine. The games, well, that's a different story. $80 games? Nintendo specifically put out a tweet that said, we can pretty much essentially charge whatever we want that suits the boat. We put a lot of hard time inside of these games, and now we just want you to pay what we think is good for the games. But honestly, don't you think that if they put a hard time into the game, and then they release it on a cheaper notice, they'll make more money, because then people are like, this game's really, really good, and we're already used to a $80 Canadian game or $60 American game. We're already used to the price that the Nintendo Switch set. So if they were to just, like, get the game and put it cheaper, a lot of people would buy that game and put it into their new Switch. Maybe they can sell the Switch 2 for the price that they've already set. And then they can sell cheaper games. I feel like that works always better. Like, 90% of the time, selling cheaper games with a more expensive console works extremely well. But anyways, I'm not a salesman. I'm not a person that likes to sell away all the stuff and make money, make business. Yeah, I mean, anyways, yeah, so what do you think about this situation? Do you think that it's a rough situation to be in? You were ready with your wallet out and waiting at the store to open just to be hit with the notice that Canadian pre-orders, they don't exist anymore. Sad. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you get your pre-order soon. Hopefully Nintendo announces something. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day. And yeah, that being said, see you in the next one.